But the point is, we were all at school going, "Oh, you're such a spaz." We were.
Yeah.
So like, it's.
I wonder what kids like.
What do they call people now?
Stop
you
it,
stop
you
being
nasty person.
Yeah, stop being such a physical disabled person. I don't know.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm going to ask my daughter. She's 14.
Yeah, see
What
what
does she
they
think
say.
about?
They probably just swear at each other.
Welcome to the Harry & Co podcast show. Please like and subscribe for more.
Can you
What do you
call?
mean,
Can you say
tramps?
tramps?
Tramps.
Yeah, like
What's your
homeless
definition
people.
of tramp? What?
Homeless people.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
You know
No,
what?
like,
That's not my
this is-
definition of tramps. My Nicole's
She
definition
looks like a
of
dirty
tramps.
tramp.
Nicole's definition of tramps.
What is a tramp?
Is I would say like. You know, the girls that go out and they wear like the shortest
I love
skirt,
tramps.
but it's like no one asked to see your bum hole. And then like
I
they
was
have
hoping,
like
but I
barely
didn't
any,
ask. No, I'm joking. I don't
were,
like bum
like-
holes.
barely any clothes. I would
Yeah.
say that's my definition of a tramp. But
Tramp, hobo.
yeah,
What's hobo mean?
No,
That's
see,
what homeless
hobo would be.
be like a
that- yeah.
yeah. So
I just
anyway,
feel really bad saying that, but anyway.
no, I
yeah.
know, but a tramp, like God, you're such
Are
a
you
tramp.
recording?
I'm recording. So, so anyway, no. But what I'd like to say is now, I don't know the word tramp. Where's the word tramp? Like, I think it's a tramp. Not acceptable anymore, is it, to describe a homeless person?
No, I would. When you said that, I was a bit offended,
No, there you go.
but not offended. Like, don't get me wrong, it takes me a lot to be offended. But I could just see like people listening going, oh, "How dare he?"
But
Yeah.
explore words.
Do you mean explore words?
Like the exploration of words that we use. And if something's offensive, okay, but say the word and understand why it might be offensive. Do you know what I mean? So
That's true. So
Yeah.
why is it offensive?
I don't know. I don't know why some words get, took like. See, you've got like spastic as well. I had to like that makes me feel like it makes me laugh. But why did we just say this can't go out now? No,
I'm dying.
No, but so this is okay. So. The theory of it or the system makes me laugh because we used to have shops. Yeah, you know that I'm a good person.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
right,
I can
I'm a good
vouch for
person,
Harry.
right.
But you know what? Yeah. Let's talk about it. Go.
The idea of words and how they change just very quickly because we're moving on to this topic. But we used to have shops in the UK called the Spastic Society.
I remember
Not
you
that
telling
long
me
ago.
about that.
Yeah, with a little girl, like a plastic girl outside
Yeah.
with a money box thing with a sign saying "Help Spastics." I've no idea because I think. Like, I don't know, if someone's spasticated, it means like it's a kind of like injury, like they can't move the legs properly or something, or the feet go in a bit. It's and so then people use that, and then at school everyone goes, "Oh, you're such a spastic."
I think because people took the word, because maybe back,
Yeah.
maybe it was just a word that was in the dictionary kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And then people started using it to make fun of people. So that's when people were like, well,
So that's but
we had to take it away. Because I know
Yeah.
you were telling me about this shop and it's been removed now, hasn't it?
yes, and I think it then became Scope, which they changed the name of the charity to Scope.
Oh, yeah. I see them around the UK all the time.
So
Wow,
don't know,
but
yeah.
they used to be called...
the Spastic Society. He literally used to be called the Spastic Society.
Oh my
and the little
gosh.
sign on the girl, this like plastic doll thing outside. You know, like help the blind dogs. Do you know? No, help the guide dogs.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. A charity that supports dogs that are blind. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent.
You said we're about to discuss a topic and you haven't even discussed the topic with me.
No,
What we
there.
talking about?
Sometimes the surprise is the best.
Well, yeah, I'm waiting
feature.
over here.
Anyway, so we forget all about that, really, a little bit. But so the point is, right, spastic's not acceptable anymore. Where did it come from? What is it? I think, again, it's like some sort of ailment, like it's connected to, like a medical definition of something, so it was called Spastic Society. But you can't use it anymore. So, you call people like they're physically disabled, wouldn't you, or something?
Yeah.
So, isn't it weird? But you can tie that in with everything else because, like, casual racism was seen as not too bad a while ago, and now it's absolutely not acceptable, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Like certain words. But so it's just, the point being more, I think it's definitely interesting to explore some of these words and names for things that we don't use anymore, but why we don't use them anymore, why they're not acceptable anymore, and stuff like that. So anyway, that was the thing about the Spastic Society and physical disabilities or whatever. And we can't use that word anymore. Can you really? Because it's like calling like in Americans. So like for example, they call people a retard, don't they? In America. But in America, that was I don't think we use that term a lot here, but call it like it's okay, he's a retard. It was a thing, like as in like because retard means slow.
Yeah.
So in a truck, you've got your normal brake and you've got a retarder. So it's a stick that you move that like brakes the engine, not your wheel brakes.
Yeah.
Slows the truck down. So you're slowing it down. So you've got a retarder. So it means don't. This is me. Do you know what? We laugh at words. Words make us laugh. It's not. It is what it is.
But
words
I'm
make us
dying
laugh.
inside,
We've all been at school
right?
with our friends and had and said stop being a retard.
No, but that's the
It's
thing.
not a bad thing.
Okay,
We're
let's
not
go
bad
back.
people.
Probably, 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
I would never have cringed at these words. But I'm sat here dying inside because of the criticism we are going to get. But this is our society we live in now.
It is.
You can't say if and but without being like, I'm
This
offended.
is true.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go outside and go, oh my God, look at all these
No, you're just going to
spastics.
put it on the
Oh my God."
internet
No.
where the whole bloody
Yeah, but
world can see it.
No, but we're not slating anyone. We're not,
No.
one, we're not racist. One, we're not prejudiced against people with disabilities, mental issues, or problems. We're not at all. We're decent, normal people.
Yeah.
Okay. But the point is, we were all at school going, "Oh, you're such a spaz." We were.
Yeah.
So like, it's.
I wonder what kids like.
What do they call people now?
Stop
you
it,
stop
you
being
nasty person.
Yeah, stop being such a physical disabled person. I don't know.
It's true.
I'm going to ask my daughter. She's 14.
Yeah, see
What
what
does she
they
think
say.
about
They probably just swear at each other.
what words? But it's all like, oh, you're such a. They come up. There's new words now, isn't there? You're such a cling or something. I don't know. Like there's just words.
Just weird words.
Like peng, isn't that like if something's really good or hot? If someone's hot, he's peng.
Peng. Is that a new thing?
Probably not even new anymore.
We're
Oh my
just
God!
so-
I think that would come from like Essex.
When
and,
did we get old?
I don't know, but that, like oh, look at that guy in the hat with the glasses. Wow,
I do
he looks really
feel-
peng.
Like when I'm like sat in a bus, never.
Loser cruiser.
Never.
I love buses.
But
I'm always on the bus.
public transport or whatever.
me too.
So I'm always like, but I hear like young people talking, or even when I'm out for a walk, I act like I'm going for walks. But anyway, I don't know. When I'm in society, somewhere in the community,
pretending to walk,
pretending to be somewhere,
sliding.
or even in the supermarket, and you hear all this slang. I remember literally like the other day, I was hearing these two teenagers talk to each other.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. And I was like, I used to be cool. Like, when did I become like a mum that's uncool, that doesn't know the lingo? Like, I'm going to die when my daughter's at school.
I was just going to say, I'm cool as F. But it isn't. It's cool AF, isn't it? Oh, he's cool AF.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
But that means, so there's even acronyms for the, for the
Smart,
words.
Though. You know why? Probably
Not
because they get in
swearing.
trouble at school.
Well, or
for
texting,
swearing.
short
text
messages on
messages.
Snapchat, and oh my God.
It's crazy.
I was the coolest kid in town. Probably wasn't, but do you know what I mean? Like you feel
From the 1960s.
I'm sure we both feel we were cool AF.
I thought I was well cool when I was in school. I was not though.
Sending 160 character text messages because that was the maximum limit on a Nokia. I thought I was pretty cool. Or was it 120? Can't remember.
It was 120.
120.
I think 120 rings
I had
a bell.
a special phone. I don't know.
Yeah, but
That's why I was paying twice.
You can't call it a spastic phone, can you?
No, can't call it a spastic phone. Spaz phone.
Yeah,
no one's going to shout at you, are they?
We are going to get ripped.
No, we're not slagging anyone off. We're just.
You know what?
The
We've got an
exploration.
opinion. We can say it.
The exploration of words. Freedom of speech. You could say whatever the F you want to say.
Yeah.
Like, don't say it to somebody and hurt someone's feelings.
I remember when we
I'm
started
against
this
that.
we started this podcast. I was got to be, no, it's going on the internet. I'm literally at the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm entitled to my opinion.
No,
I can say what I want to say.
No, I know, but we are genuinely we are just using words. We are not offending anyone. We're not.
Well,
saying
let's hope we're not offending anyone.
We could talk about like where did the N word come from and why.
Oh, we are not going.
No, we're not. But you know what I mean? Like, why is that? And absolutely not acceptable because it is not accepted in society. And Jeremy Clarkson got sacked from the BBC for muttering it almost, didn't he?
But then black people can just say it whenever they want.
That is a weird
and
one,
I'm
isn't
jealous.
it?
I'm like, that is such a cool...
I don't get that.
Going somewhere.
I don't get that.
But
every rap song
has
that
it in
word in it.
And
they refer to each other as an N.
Yeah, and then I'm literally in the song, like being like, "Oh yeah, and oh yeah, why can't I say it?" Like it's like, it's like.
But the point in that, and with what we've just been saying, because I find it really interesting how things change, and what becomes, because there'll be loads more that becomes politically incorrect very soon, won't there? Half of our vocabulary will disappear into the whole of
dictionary gone.
Yeah. So, but you know, how do they call each other it, and it's not offensive?
I think because they are it. No, that's
well, yeah.
That doesn't. But
then also, how if your parents, like if you're 7 generations down and one of the parents has been white, like imagine like one parent was black and one parent was white, so there was a lighter skinned black person.
Like mixed race.
Yeah. And then it was white parent, like white partners, and imagine that sort of skin colours lightened in generations, but they still have some, either Afro-Caribbean or whatever, like blood.
But they
can
look
they still
white.
Say N? Like when can they not say the N word anymore?
My great grandma.
So I'm going to say N.
So I'm going to say N.
Weird, isn't it?
It is.
But I don't get how something can be. Because I'm not going to say anything else. Like it's weird how they say that, but I'd never say it. And with any of these words, I'll make it very clear now. I would not go up to somebody and say any of these words to them, or even talk about them with these words. This is an exploration of words that it's strange how they were used.
But I definitely think it's a topic that we all think about.
Yeah.
On a very regular occasion.
Yeah.
That all these words in our vocabulary have just disappeared. And then I think just in general, like even when like you're talking to a mate or something, you say a word and they're like, oh, you can't say, and you're like, what is that another one I can't say?
Yeah,
like it's just constantly like, that's going to offend someone. Like people just tiptoe around. Like, obviously we did the Pride podcast a few weeks ago, and we released that, and the amount of people, and I think I can't remember if I said in the podcast, but the amount of people that tiptoe around like, they don't want to ask us questions because they don't want to offend us.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, and I was talking to my work colleague about this, that there's so many people that don't want to ask questions because they don't want to offend us.
Yeah.
And like words and things like that, and is that the right terminology, or is that, can I like even just when people are like,
if you get it wrong, you get it wrong.
Exactly. But people don't know if you don't educate them. Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely that was on topic, but I'm just saying, like, I hate that like some people are like, oh no, or we don't want to ask her questions, or we don't want to say this because it's the wrong term. But I think like we're such an offended society now.
Yeah, but it's anyway that we've never got to where we was trying to get to it.
There was actually a point to this.
The original word was tramp. And we've gone all around the circles.
What was the point of that? What did you want it to say?
No, because that was the thing. Is there anything to finish on that? No, I'm happy with what we've talked about, to be honest.
But what was your point of
No, we haven't finished the topic.
Oh.
We've just finished the going around the circles to get to the topic.
Just talking absolute nonsense.
No, but the problem is when I say something and then you feed back to me, my brain's going crazy trying to make sure I've said everything I need to say, because I've got issues.
And then I jump, don't I? I'm constantly jumping.
And so I'm and anyway, so I think we've got stuff's not politically correct. There's reasons why, and that like the use of some of the more racial words, there's reasons why, because clearly racism was somehow almost accepted and now absolutely isn't, which is great. And I think that so some of them, but anyway, so we started on tramps. And then you said tramps are girls in short skirts or boys,
yeah.
Or
no, not in my definition.
So
just girls.
That's the kind of tramp I'm interested in.
Yeah, okay.
And also, I'm interested in all tramps, also the homeless.
Okay.
And this is where we go. This is going so wrong. It might be the best one we've done. So anyway, what about tramps? So what we're going to do is now not use the word tramp anymore, and we're going to say like homeless people. Okay, because that was my point. Is like we can't call homeless people tramps anymore.
So we went around that full thing for the last 13 minutes.
13 minutes,
to start
54
talking
seconds.
about homeless people.
Yeah. So this podcast, everyone, hi. It's about. I just wanted to get opinions and talk about homeless people.
Right. Okay. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Homeless people.
For another 2 minutes.
So we want to talk about homeless people.
Yeah.
What do you want?
So
like,
we can't.
my opinion,
so
or
tramps,
what do you reckon?
not tramps anymore. Americans use the term hobo,
right?
Which means something, doesn't it? Like homeless, something hobo. Like that must mean anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Google that right now. But yeah, like what? So it just seems as more and more. I don't know if you notice something when you think about it. When you drive in a new red car, you see loads of new red cars that okay, so I don't know if it's that thing. So we've started working with a homeless charity in York, sort of side business. They're called Peace Home Charity.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they are a charity that support homeless people in York, which is wicked. So it's good that there's organisations.
So your business has started working with these guys?
So just looking after these, helping them with their website and things like that, and looking after them. Great bunch of guys, and obviously, you know what they're looking after. The interests of homeless people in York and putting, you know, support services. Maybe that's trying to get people into work, trying to help people with their housing requirements, things like that. Sort of like super cool, you know, like we should all be trying to help other people, right, where we can. But it just seems like a massive influx of, like, what I've probably walked around, maybe because the weather's getting better, and generally I'm spending more time on foot around like the centre of York, and this is a small city. Yeah. I don't know if, like, because there's a lot of tourists, homeless people might beg more, or the ones that... Is there a different... Obviously, anyone can be homeless. Some choose to then sit on the streets and beg. I guess you don't just get a homeless person. I've never seen a homeless person outside of a city centre just sat, like, at the end of my drive.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or just, like, kind of in a park, really.
Yeah. But then, this is the thing. People that choose to beg or ask for money at the street, okay, I want to try and use the right terminology... I don't know what I was trying to say really, but there's obviously not all homeless people have to do that. So I think anyone classed as like either being kicked out of the home or moved out, or the parents threw them out, or whatever, is homeless, right? And like when you leave some jobs, like jobs working with the HM forces and things like that, you can, if you were in like married quarters or something like that, if you were in like a accommodation provided by the military, maybe even just normal accommodation, like single person accommodation, like in military stuff, you can then go like not apply, but you can say I'm homeless, because you're going from like a job that had accommodation provided with it. You go to your local council and say, right, I'm put myself down as homeless now. But then you're not, like, if that was me in a transition period of doing that, for example, or yourself or anyone. You're not going to that. Doesn't mean you're going to go and get your sleeping bag and get on the street, does it? And ask for tuna and sweet corn sandwich. I don't like sweet corn, but do you know what I mean? You're not going to go and ask for a sandwich. Don't laugh at me.
You just had to do that.
So ham and cheese, white bread. Keep it simple. Or a Subway. They get a lot of stuff, don't they? The homeless people. Have you seen when people come? Yeah. So you get homeless people, but then you get people that are on the street. Okay, whether they're begging or not, and you walk past people and they go, spare any change. I never have change. I feel so bad because I don't think most of them have card readers yet, but some of them are. No, Nicole, I
cannot
Nicole,
go with you at
Nicole, Nicole, you think I'm joking? Some have a card reader.
No,
have you
they
not?
Don't.
Yeah, I've not got any cash. Oh, it's all right. I've got a card reader. I'll just put $5 on it.
No, you're taking the piss.
I'm not. There's professional beggars that have got card readers. Which is funny because I think you have to have an address to have a card reader registered to.
No, this can't be a thing.
It's true. It's true.
So this is where
there was a comedy
struggle.
one.
Right. No. Yeah. So you're being 100% legit. You have seen this.
I can guarantee, I would be willing to stake a lot of money on it. I don't carry change, remember. But I'd be willing to stake a lot of money on it in London. Like, you know, if there's 1,000 people on the street begging, someone's going to have one of those Summit card readers. But and the point being is, Nicole, don't forget, in how many years we're not going to have any cash. Everything's going cashless, yeah? How much cash have you got on you today in this building?
I think 50p.
50p. Give that to the homeless man outside Tesco's.
But this is where my issue is.
Yeah, drugs.
Right? No. Yes. But I've heard of so many stories of people who aren't homeless. They leave their house at 7 a.m. They come on down. They get a sleeping bag and they sit there because they get so much money and everything, and then they go back to their house. And this is where I struggle with knowing who's actually... So I never give money. I always say, would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like something to eat?
Yeah,
right?
I would agree.
To the point where I went to in York, and I'd never stop doing it, right? But this definitely turned my stomach. I was in the middle of York one time, and I said to the person, would you like... No, actually, I didn't. I went in there. I bought them a sandwich. I bought them like...
Can I ask what sandwich?
I didn't have sweet corn, don't worry.
Okay. Not a fan.
I think it was like a...
Tesco's? Or?
Yeah, Tesco.
Did you get them a full meal deal?
Just like a meal
because
deal.
it's not worth not getting the meal deal, is it? Because...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Have you seen it?
Crisp. If they don't like the sandwich, at least they got crisp. If they don't want that, at least they got a drink.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? So imagine you fancied a coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. A Costa coffee in the machine at Tesco's is like nearly £3.
Yeah.
Just for the coffee. But
is it in the meal deal?
It's now in the meal deal.
Stop it.
Yes, coffee's in the meal deal. This is a new podcast.
Oh my god.
Coffee's in the meal deal.
The Costa coffee?
Yeah, out the machine.
Tesco,
Out the machine.
In the meal
it's
deal.
in the meal deal.
Oh, this is changing me life.
Right. This is the thing, right? So the Costa coffee, imagine it's £2.75, £2.85. The bloody meal deal's like £3.40. Let's go.
Tesco.
Let's go.
What legends.
So the point is, if you I really want a coffee.
Yeah.
And it's bean to cup, isn't it? Grinds the beans. It's a decent coffee out the machine.
Pay the extra 20p, you get a bloody sandwich and a chocolate bar.
Exactly. So if you want a coffee, you might as well get the homeless person outside, because I can guarantee if I go to that Tesco's now, there'll be a homeless person outside asking for change. Yeah. He might as well have the sweet corn sandwich and a crunchy.
He doesn't like sweet corn,
Oh,
Eric.
God.
I told you not to get the sweet corn.
The meatball marinara sub.
Oh, that sounds
And a crunch.
fancy.
I know that wouldn't go with a crunchy. Chocolate buttons.
But this is my issue, right?
Yeah.
So I went in there, I brought the meal deal.
Yeah.
Without the coffee.
Yeah.
Dying. Anyway, I came out, I gave it to them, and they literally just threw it on the floor.
What the fuck?
And they went, no.
Sorry, you asked them if they wanted a crunchy?
No. So I didn't ask. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you just bought the meal deal.
Probably my mistake. So I just brought it. But it's not that. Like, just take it and give it to another friend or something. Do you know what I mean? It's someone's trying to be nice.
And they threw it on the floor.
And they literally just threw it away probably about 3 meters.
Fucking
and on a busy street in York, I was mortified.
Yeah, well, do you know what, though? That has said something about that person, because they probably want some heroin.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, it's probably fuming.
And this is like this is a thing, right? So there's the drug side of things, yeah? And this is the problem. This is the real problem.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't want to cast aspersions, but I think a lot of people end up homeless because they made some really bad decisions in life. A lot of bad decisions in life often come down to people using drugs and serious drugs, yeah? No, so not necessarily cannabis, but that's a gateway drug, as we know.
Yeah.
And end up doing drugs.
Or alcohol as well.
And
normally a mix, isn't it?
Yeah, falling off the wagon, and then you see him in the phone box doing something that looks like really dodgy which is probably like some sort of serious drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where it is. Like, don't get me wrong, like
thing.
It is hard. I'm always on the fence about it. Like, you want to help because, again, it's the people who do that ruin it for the people who are generally like they've got no one and they actually want to help, or if someone would just give them a chance. And I'm like, I just want to find that one person and help them. But unfortunately, it's surrounded by 20 other people.
Yeah,
that
it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I'm all for helping people, and I'd more than happily pay for someone to have like a night in hostel. So look, do you want to go to one of the hostels? Because there's like or there's safe stay, or there's some like kind of hostel places. And like, I'm not giving you 30 quid. I think some places apparently up to 30 quid, but there's places that are sponsored. Wow. Some of the charities will obviously help. So there's some sort of funds available for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I would be more like you on the providing rather than encouraging.
Yeah.
That's what you can.
I'm not going to give you cash.
Yeah.
But if you want something, if I had it, I'd be more than willing to give them that. But
I think We've got to support the homeless people. Yeah. And we've got to help people. My ethos really is, look after myself so I can look after other people. I work hard so that I can enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my life 100%, but I also get pleasure out of helping other people. Yeah. Whether that's helping someone with their education or helping somebody stop doing something they shouldn't be doing, or whatever.
Saying a nice thing to someone. Do you know what
anything.
I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. Or helping somebody who's struggling. Like, I want to help people. I can't help everybody. Yeah. I definitely can't. Okay. But if I can make anyone's lives a little bit better than by any means, I can get a sense of achievement from that. But so, if we're going back to, like homeless people, I would more than happily, say, right, do you want to get a night in a hostel tonight? If you've got anywhere to stay, if you come with me, I'll pay and book you in. Or maybe you can go to a hostel and say, like, I'll pay, your name's on the list. Like, I've paid and your name's on the list, but I get the money back if you don't turn up. I don't know how it works, what I mean? Yeah. But I think, a lot of homeless people are going to be on the streets or a lot of people on the streets, because maybe that definition needs more clarity. A lot of people on the streets, a lot of people will be there because they've made bad decisions. And I think a lot's going to be like alcohol and drug related.
I think it's because also like, if I was to ever go homeless, I can honestly say there would be a good handful of 5 people that I know would put me up. Yeah. Or do you know what I mean?
Because you're a good person.
But the reason why these people are probably in this situation is because they've burnt those bridges. Those people have, and that's kind of where I'm also like, okay, I want to be compassionate. I really, really do. Yeah. But there's got to be a reason that this person's mum or dad or grandparents or brother or sister isn't willing. Like they've obviously burnt that bridge, and I think that's where the line is.
So that's so it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you don't know the backstory for any of these people, and if you did, and if they did a little drug test in front of you, I know that sounds really dramatic and maybe quite wrong, but you've only got an opinion of someone that you can see sat down on their sleeping bag with the dog next to them or whatever. Yeah. So it's a really, it's a really difficult one, isn't it? Because you give them 30 quid of cash. Where's that money going? I'd love to think that that'll tide them over for, a hostel and food for tonight and breakfast in the morning. Yeah. But the reality is you've absolutely no idea.
No, it's crazy, isn't it?
And so supporting some of the charities who know better how to use money like that. Yeah. Because the charities like Peace Home in York, they're not just going to throw money. They're not just going to go around giving money out, are they? They'll be helping with real solutions.
Yeah. And they'd be qualified, I guess, in a way. Like they would know about how to deal with homeless people and, people. Because it's not just that they're homeless. They probably need, a lot of help in other areas as well. So it's those people and those charities that are able to really help. I wouldn't know where to start to help, and that's why I think those charities are really good.
Well, that's why I think generally in life, charities that we look after and support, whether it's cancer charities or children-related charities for different illnesses, or like you go down that avenue, don't you? So that you give them your money and you're hoping that they're doing a good job.
They specialise in it.
Yeah, but then that's so that the charities that I know, they're doing a good job, and pretty much all the work's voluntary, which is wonderful. But then you hear these horror stories about some of the big charities so I think all the charities have to tell you, for example, how many pence from a pound goes to the cause, right? Yeah. So some charities will have like a bigwig CEO, could be on like 80 grand a year.
Or more.
Yeah. That's definitely true with some charities, like the really big name ones and stuff like that, right? So I think they have to publicise how many pence in a pound goes to charity. And I'm sure there are horror stories of some charities where a pound of donation, only 1 penny of that pound
I'm not even surprised though, because
that's horrible, isn't it? If you give £100 and 10 pence.
This is why, like, when I know one of my friends was like a door-to-door person. I wouldn't say a friend, actually, just someone acquaintance. Yeah. And he informed me of his yearly salary. Yeah. And it was like 45 grand. And I was like, so you're going to knock on my door and ask for money towards a charity, but I'm actually just paying your wage. Yeah. And that's what I struggle with charities, is that they don't have, a reputation anymore, that it actually, a lot of it goes to the charities.
Yeah, some of them.
Some of them.
Because I don't want to, and some there are some charities out there. I'd love to do some charity stuff and really get involved in doing stuff. And so, but I think for me to be involved with any charity, be understanding that, because I saw a video on social media about an undercover journalist who went, and it was one of these, like almost a selling operation of a charity kind of thing. So imagine there's 10 people going out knocking on doors. There's some guy back at the office, and this was the kind of scam, right? So there was imagine two bosses at the office, two like directors, okay? They would phone charities, so they were just bringing money in, yeah? So they'd phone charities like, imagine Guide Dogs for the Blind and something else. They'd say, we've got 2 charity partners. All this company's job does is get money off people to give to those charities, yeah? So they'll knock on your door and say, we're raising money for the Guide Dogs for the Blind and the kids in Africa that need shoes, whatever. Okay, don't shoot me. I'm just making some stuff up, yeah? So they'll knock on the door and say, what are you going to laugh at? Wait till I finish the story. It's a horrible one. It's a horrible one, Nicole. So they're going to knock on your door, right? You give them £10. Yeah. You're like, okay, well, if you feel good about yourself, you give them £10, right? But actually, the guys want to drive around in Lamborghinis that are in the office. Yeah. So they've got 20 people going out knocking on doors in Manchester or Leeds or wherever. Yeah. You're giving them £10. Everyone else is giving them £10, £100, £50, £10. Yeah. £1 fish. Do you remember that £1 fish? Anyway, they're collecting all the money in. Don't stop laughing. They're collecting all the money in. And basically, so imagine they've collected off all the people knocking on doors £1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all on, like you say, 40 grand a year. Probably won't be, but imagine they're all on 30 grand a year, all the people knocking on the doors. So they've collected £1 million. Imagine like 500,000's gone on those people's wages knocking on the door. There's 500,000 left in the pot. The directors want their Lamborghinis. This is like a scam one. So there's like 400 grand goes towards the directors and all their expenses. So there's 100 grand left. So that's like 10%, for example. Maybe that then goes to those two charities. So two charities get, like 50 grand, but 950,000 has gone in all the expenses. And that's some stuff like that is going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you think you're giving £10, yeah. Virtually none of it has got to the give a new lead for a guide dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Or his training or the shoes.
Yeah.
Man.
Deep.
But what do we do about the homeless people?
Well, I'd ask your charity that you're working with. What do you mean? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What's the solution?
Oh, I'd love to be able to tell you, mate.
I know.
They need we need drug addiction
counselling,
meetings. We need Alcoholic Anonymous. Yeah. We need some government to step up and give some housing, some housing.
Yeah.
It's a big crisis. It's a massive crisis, and it's
heartbreaking.
Just
more and more people in your. There's more weird drugs coming out.
Yeah.
Like synthetic based opiates and whatever, like drugs that are like. Crazy.
I am just so grateful that I've never ever gotten addicted to drugs.
Yeah,
I think it's it's a
horrible thing.
It is a horrible thing.
I've seen it for real with people, and or understood through friends of friends, whatever. What a mess!
I think that's where my compassion comes from. Yeah, like seeing that and like most of the times these people don't want to be addicted to it, and it's an addiction. Yeah. And I think most of the times. They're doing it because they're trying to numb something within themselves. Yeah. And we're getting really deep. But that's the reason why a lot of people do it.
I think a lot of it. I think you're totally right. Take himself out of a space and for a period of time feel different and feel. Yeah. But then also by even doing that one time, something that is highly addictive, your brain straight away is going... so even smoking, cigarettes or whatever, or vaping if it's got so nicotine as a drug, your brain goes, even if you just see someone else smoking or you just think for a minute, I almost did a test and I started smoking for a bit.
Really?
To test this theory.
Was this quite recent?
Well, go back a year or something, yeah. But smoking, I might have the odd cigar, but very infrequently, okay? Yeah. But this was like a bit of a test, really, myself to sort of, what's it all about? Yeah. How does it work? Because in the past, I think I'm not an addictive personality, as people call it. I don't even know what that means. Yeah. So I was smoking a bit to see what, and I got there. So I got to the point where my body wanted another cigarette or a roll up or whatever. Yeah. And I got it, and I understood it.
Do you remember?
Well, it just, by smoking a bit every now and again, and then starting to smoke a few a day. Yeah. Then I could feel a sensation as to do you know what? I could do with a cigarette now. Yeah. I'm going to go outside. And I get it. And so I totally get it. So I've done that. But because I'm not that addictive person, I can break the cycle. Yeah. So I broke the cycle and I came back out because I knew, and I can tell myself that I was doing that to just try and understand what this is about. And it's a weird one because that things like that are massively, like certain drugs, but also nicotine and things like that are super addictive. Yeah. That's why people smoke all their lives and you think what they do, like they know they're putting smoke into their lungs.
That's the thing is I'd never,
crazy.
I'd never smoked, done drugs or anything. And then it was when I was 30. Yeah. 30, big situation in my life happened. And I just was like, oh, stuff it. Yeah. I'll just try it. Yeah. And became addicted to cigarettes, and then obviously vaping came along. So now I vape. But I
don't know which is worse now.
No, I think So this is the interesting thing is I say it to people all the time, like every time I take a puff, it's like dramatic. But I know I'm killing myself. Yeah. Because you can
hot
feel
oil into
and like my teeth are a lot different now, like they're a lot more sensitive. So I know it's something I need to stop.
Yeah.
And I used to judge people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like my parents were smokers. I'm like, God, just stop. Like what is the big thing about it? Like just stop. And now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in here. And so it is something, it's just definitely something I'm going to work on and things I'm not going to, but I've got to be ready. So I'm not going to sit on the podcast and be like, oh yeah, I'm giving it up.
You've got to do
like,
stuff
you've got to be ready.
time. And that's not my job to tell you what to do.
But absolutely it is, it's not good, but yeah, addictive personalities and things.
And I think just the very, very basics of it all is that something that you do is making chemicals in your brain do something that your brain thinks, oh, that's nice. Okay, so this is, so when people are doing certain drugs or nicotine, it's like dopamine levels and stuff. We've talked about ADHD stuff before and how dopamine and different, and there's other chemicals, right? But imagine, that it feels great when your dopamine shoots up because you're doing something exciting. Maybe if you do something like go on a roller coaster and your adrenaline goes up and a dopamine goes up together with it and all that sort of jazz, whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to be a scientist. But then your brain goes, oh, yeah, I want to go on that roller coaster, for example. This is a different kind of next time because I know how that adrenaline and that rush I got, whether it's dopamine or other chemicals got. So I know I want to do it again, right? I know I want to do... And that's the thing. So, the smoking one, it's like, feel a bit relaxed or you feel somehow like it's de-stressing you in a way. Yeah. Because but it's activating chemicals in your brain that's doing something without you even thinking for you. Your brain is then at the next stage is going, right, your brain's telling you to have a puff of your vape or have a cigarette or whatever, because it's not even you. It's like, it's your brain.
Your brain.
Yeah. Your brain's saying, oh, no, that's in my pocket.
Or
and that's going to make me feel
as soon as I'm stressed, it's just kind of like, oh, just have that, and I'll literally just puff it. And the worst thing about vaping is, and this is obviously such a cycle that people are in now, the worst thing about vaping is that you can have it anywhere you go. Yeah. So I'll be driving and then just vape it. But you can be in a
cinema, and you can do it. And if you breathe it into your...
See, I still don't agree with that. Like, I'll always
I don't
still
agree
go
with any
out.
of it. But the point is, some produce more than others.
Yeah.
And if you vaped in the cinema and then did it under your jacket, like you probably wouldn't have any stuff coming out.
No, no. Yeah.
So
I
that's
am
the danger.
still the one that goes outside. Yeah. Even like, but it's...
I think the people that were smoking, I always remember 20 a day, so a pack of fags a day, that's serious smoking. Yeah. Okay. So that's like, and you work out however many, like 2 an hour. Or no, in the daytime could be like 3 or 4, 3 an hour. Anyway, whatever. The problem is, that seems quite a lot, but with vaping,
you could
be
double
smoking
or triple the amount of
that's crazy.
Puffs. Yeah, because really, when you smoke, people go outside.
Someone can just.
But it's crazy.
I'm like, my addiction's like not as addicted as other people.
Jumping out of planes.
Oh yeah, get a lot of adrenaline stuff.
You love
the thought of running off a mountain right now in good weather with my paraglider and just flying and I love it. Or going off jumps on the mountain bike like we did, and I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like a naughty McDonald's for me would be a bit of a like a
double cheeseburger,
chicken select,
double Big Mac. Oh, chicken select.
And then maybe like a plain cheeseburger and get a couple of the selects and stick them in it.
You're a rebel.
I'm a rebel.
Look at you.
But those are my kind of like. I feel lucky.
Yeah.
That I'm not. I think there's definitely a thing where people are more addicted. I think the people I've seen struggle with drugs and stuff, or heard of people struggling with drugs, I think those people, I'd never say that they're weak people, but I think the people that have had serious problems that I've heard about are people, yes, with some sort of trauma or something. Yeah. But
they've had a difficult life.
They definitely are more addictive. So I think, when people always use the term addictive personality, I hate that. Like, as in they've got not addictive personalities in relation, talking with that person, but like that person is more addicted to stuff than other people. Yeah. I think there is something, definitely. Some people are more addicted because our brain chemicals are all different. Yeah. That's like 100% true, isn't it? Hormones are different levels, brain dopamine's up and down. Blah. Talked about ADHD. Oh, I'm exhausted.
I
need a McDonald's. No, I'm not. I don't know. It's too easy, isn't it?
No, that's do you know what? That podcast was well interesting, though. How we went literally from like spastic all the way to somehow we got to homelessness. Yeah. And then ins and outs.
But just let's make it very clear, we are not prejudiced to
absolutely
anybody
not.
or anything.
I think people know that. Like,
no, we never come across. This is not a very left or very right wing kind of
I hope that. Like,
thing.
and
Yeah.
you know, I think we should. I just want to be able to talk about things that we talk about every day. And
Yeah.
it's on the internet.
Exactly.
But it's nothing that we wouldn't talk about with our mates.
No, exactly.
Sat, you know, having a beer.
Exactly.
So.
And I said it and I'll say it again. You know, my goal in life is like look after. You know, charity starts at home, but I think you know that you can use it as an analogy. But you know, when they say on the airplane and the safety brief, put your mask on before helping someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the idea is if you try and put someone else's mask on and you stop breathing, you're not getting. So help yourself before you help someone else. So, you know, live a good life if you can, enjoy what life can bring, and try and help other people. Try and make other people smile, make their lives better, and that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
But I think we should certainly have freedom of speech and be able to like discuss where things change in the world and not. I hope society never goes like some of these sci-fi films where everything's super rigid, like,
and then we're all just offended about everything. And
I would be dead soon anyway. So, there you go. That's another cheeky podcast.
Thank you for joining us, guys. It was lovely.
And we'll see you very soon on the next episode. Have a wonderful evening.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Or a morning, unless it might be the morning. Okay.
Whenever you're listening. Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye, guys. We doing this?
We doing that?
Is that what we do?
Yeah.
You're cutting those, though, aren't you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would just
if you dare put this on,
because I'm not speaking very loud.
I will literally kill you.
No, it is me. We're both waving. Anyway, stop waving now. See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
See you soon.
bitches.
See you soon.
Anybody.
Bye-bye.